Hello, Cinema Drunks. It's Elvirus again. Welcome to the 9th annual Cinema Gulp Halloween Mixer. You may have noticed I have a new classier look this year. That's because I was thinking about elevated horror. It's been around for about 15 years now. I think I should make a similar change. On second thought, that doesn't sound like any fun. Now that's more like it. I feel like myself again.
The movie we're here to talk about is Black Swan, 2010, my pick for psychological horror. And man, I think this is a great pick for psychological horror because so much shit going on in this crazy girl's head.
Well, I want to say, John, isn't this one of your favorite movies of the 2010, is it the early aughts or the teens?
Well, it's my favorite movie of the year 2010.
Yes.
It was my best picture pick.
I don't know why I made it complicated, yes.
For that particular year. But yeah, I love this movie. I would say it's definitely one of my favorites of the genre of psychological horror. Great performances. I really think that Natalie Portman deserved an Oscar for this role. She was amazing. Darren Aronofsky, probably my favorite film of his. I do like a number of his movies, but this one probably stands out as my favorite that he's done.
It's my second favorite. I'm a wrestler guy. Okay. I love The Wrestler because
it's the same story.
Well,
it's not done as a horror movie.
Yeah. You're right. Very similar. I have to agree with you. To me, this is Natalie Portman and Mila Kunis's performances of their lives. They've never done anything.
When they're on screen together in the same bed.
Well, who doesn't remember this? Especially Mila Kunis. I've always thought she was a fine actress, but this movie cements her next level, and I don't think she really got the accolades for this movie, did she? She didn't get any kind of, it was all on Natalie Portman, which was fair, but I thought Mila Kunis should have gotten a little bit more recognition.
She got Ted and Bad Moms out of her.
I too want a martina never Tabluski.
Oh, no, that doesn't work. No, don't ruin it.
This, you can flick it, suck it,
I don't want to do that.
And she got Ashton Kutcher and
paychecks.
P. Diddy parties out of it, so she's doing just fine.
Speaking of that, did you just come from a P. Diddy party?
I did.
You sure looked like you did.
I did. Not from the white party, from the Illuminati party I came from. Yeah.
Please, come forward.
There's so many wonderful moments in this movie, specifically a lot of moments that use mirrors, show this duality that's going on in her mind right now. She's this innocent person who's being told that she needs to let go of herself and all the control that she has. Her approach to her craft of dancing.
I'm spasticus, I'm spasticus, I'm spasticus autisticus.
She's trying to achieve perfection.
I whittle when I piddle, cause my middle is a riddle.
But that's not what her director is looking at her to elevate her into the position of the lead of their new play. He wants to see her lose control. And so she struggles with that, but you see that often in the mirrors and stuff like that.
Played by the great Vincent Cassel, by the way.
Yes, yeah. He's actually really great in the film.
His character's the one that I think fucks with her mind the most.
Yes.
Not her mother, not the people that want her job, but it's him. When he's seducing her and fingering her basically, and then he goes, "You should have been the one doing that to me. You should have been seducing me." You wonder, is this just the way French people encourage their actresses, or is he really a sleazebag, or is he both? And
again, I think that's commentary on the men in power and things of that nature to some degree. It all comes around to Harvey Weinstein somehow.
Winona Ryder's great. She represents the character almost like in The Substance, the one that's being pushed out. Even though she's a lot younger than Demi Moore was in that. I think Winona Ryder's about 36 or 37 when that movie came out.
Did you suck his Not all of us have to.
Her character's so great. The first time you see her, she's like, fuck! She's just because she knows she just lost her job.
Yeah. This is a movie that it definitely has its moments where it's truly a horror movie, played as a drama as well.
It works as both very
Well,
well.
like one scene specifically with Winona Ryder where she's already broken her legs. I guess she gets hit by a car, I believe. She's got like broken legs that are all fucked up. Portman's character has been stealing items from her throughout the movie, stealing stuff from her dressing room.
Right.
She tries to return it all, and there's that moment where she just freaks out and takes her nail file and starts jamming it through her face.
Yeah.
And that is just a fucking crazy ass scene.
There's more crazy ass scenes in this movie to count. Like it's really like the best of everything Aronofsky ever did. It's visually, it's like you have what I think is his most beautiful masterpiece, The Fountain. Whether you think it makes any sense or not, it's just gorgeous to look at. And then you have Requiem for a Dream, where like there's all this like mental stuff going on. Yeah. And this movie kind of merges so much of what it makes him such a interesting director. Like even to this day, people just say he's the most successful student filmmaker who is still a student filmmaker ever. And I remember when you and I watched, or when we reviewed Mother, we're like, Mother is a student film. It's a piece of shit.
In his first student film since his days in film school, this movie sucks.
But this movie's not a piece of shit. It's brilliant, and it's in all of its insanity. It's still kind of subtle.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like The Substance where everything is in your face. It's very, and like you said, it uses a lot of mirrors, and I love the way you kind of get it right away that Mila Kunis is not there.
Yeah.
When you see the mirrors, you know, when she's running or like trying to hide from Barbara Hershey, who is also great in this movie.
Everyone is great.
Yeah, everyone's great in this movie. I never thought I cared about ballet, but it looks interesting. Like, I would love to watch something this dark. The scene where she's plucking like little pieces of like before feathers out of her body, it's so great, and obviously that's very practical. That final dance scene where she's morphing the wings, it's just awesome. Fucking amazing.
Yeah. The score in this is really great. It
uses
the actual Swan Lake Tchaikovsky.
Let's get the cat out of the bag. Mila Kunis and Natalie Portman have a sex scene. I've always been someone that I hate blue is the warmest color, because I think that movie is so beautiful as a love story until it gets to a sex scene, and then it becomes a porno, and it devolves the whole love story that we saw. This movie, on the other hand, it shows the sex scene exactly the way it's supposed to, because it's intense and it's drug fueled and you don't know what's real, and Natalie Portman's, you know, they're rolling or whatever, and it makes sense for the story. She wakes up, there's Mila Kunis trying to steal her job. It all makes sense. The horror aspect of this movie is when she starts to have visions. And we all know it. Like, this movie was not advertised as a horror movie, even though the trailers were pretty scary.
Watch the way she moves, Nina.
But you knew that it was a Darren Aronofsky, quote-unquote, student film. You have these like moments like where the lights come down, or there's all these things that you're not supposed to know. Is the audience seeing this, or is she seeing this? And then you see this moment where Vincent Cassel is like mounting Mila Kunis, and then he turns into this really great Edgar Allan Poe, like Mask of the Red Death type of like monster, and I love it. I love it.
You brought up The Wrestler, and so the similarities between the two movies, Wrestler and Black Swan, about obsession. You know, people who are obsessed with perfection and obsessed with the movie has you kind of guessing, like you said, what's real, what's not. Even the way it ends, it's kind of ambiguous.
Well, no, I don't know if it is though.
See, I don't fully
I
know
think
if
it gives
dying.
she pulls the little chunk of glass out, and I'm like, okay, she stabbed herself and now she's dying. So to me, that's...
How did she have a performance where no blood was coming out, and then it does? It's just like...
I think it was that part was in her head, where I think the end was the real story, because that's when you see the other characters in the movie noticing.
Yeah.
When everything's coming from the catalyst, it doesn't matter what they see, because they only see what they want to see. When Vincent Cassel sees her on the mattress after she jumps off, and he sees that she's dying,
I see dead people.
that's what tells you it's real, because that's a different character.
I get
you
that,
know?
but I still feel it has ambiguity.
No, it does. It does. It does. Well, dude, it wouldn't be Darren Aronofsky
Yeah,
if it didn't have ambiguity to it, you know. But
Same
to
with the
me,
wrestler, though, you don't really know his fate at the end, so they kind of have
yeah,
similar.
I think she dies.
Yeah, and, well, that is the way I see it, but I still feel there's kind of, because there's elements of the film, and specifically the way that the final performance plays, visually to me as an audience member, it's not clear what the people in the audience.
Well, because it keeps shifting, which is so brilliant. Like I said, the scene where her wings come out, and then when they close back in on her perspective, those wings are gone. And then she goes back away, and then Mila Kunis is like, that was amazing. And she already knows Mila Kunis is like not really there. So then she goes back out and dances again. Aronofsky is never going to be the kind of filmmaker where at the end of the movie you see this like, you know, drone shot of like cop cars and like fire hydrants, where you see this post-climactic wrap-up where someone's like, man, that was crazy, right? Like
the end of a Die Hard or
By the way, Black Swan made hundreds of millions of dollars off a $14 million budget.
It deserved it.
I think it made $360 million worldwide.
Wow, that is a lot.
It became a huge, huge hit. If you remember, well, it was your favorite movie that year, and it won Oscars. Like, that movie was a huge fucking deal when it came out.
Nominated for Best Director.
I don't think he was.
I think because they were nominating 10 movies at that point, it probably was a Best Picture nominee.
Mother was not our favorite movie of 2017.
No, it was my worst. I gave it. Yeah,
it was a piece of shit.
Mother was my least favorite movie of 2017.
I'm giving it a 0. 0 gulps. I'm not willing to take a single sip on this fucking movie.